on this note of the universe and constantly expanding even faster, I got to ask you the question that's on everyone's mind, and that is, are there other people out there? Are there other sources of intelligent life? We've seen in the last year people testifying in front of Congress. We've seen Air Force pilots. We've seen the video of these things that seem to defy laws of physics. Come on, you can't just put that aside as saying it's nothing. Really? Okay, but besides that...
No, but you can say it's more unlikely. Okay. What you can say is there's lots of things we see out there that we don't understand. Okay. That's a true statement.
Okay. Well, okay.
But attributing them to aliens is like, it is when you think about it logically, and I'm going to have a little debate in New York City in a few months about this with a true believer.
An alien.
I mean, he's not really a true believer. He's a sensible guy, because I don't talk with the UFOologists, because they're peddling stuff, and I'm not interested in debating things with people who are peddling stuff. But if you think about all of the issues carefully, the least likely possibility to explain any of the things we've seen are aliens coming from some other star system. Now, is there life elsewhere? First of all, the answer, of course, is, guess what? I don't know.
Right.
Okay. But it's strongly likely, given what we know, that not only is there life elsewhere in the universe, but it's ubiquitous. Even now, life is different than intelligent life. There may be life elsewhere in our solar system. I'm betting there will be in the oceans of Europa or Enceladus under ice caps. And we may discover that in the next 10 or 20 years, that there are other independent genesis of life. If we discover that in our solar system, that's amazingly important. Because if there's more than one genesis of life in a single solar system, it really implies it's ubiquitous. Right. We're also being able to now look at the atmospheres of planets, exoplanets around other stars. We may look for biosignatures. Oxygen is a kind of biosignature. What people don't realize is that there was no free oxygen on Earth before life, which is important. If there had been, there wouldn't be life. Oxygen is a poison. It oxidizes things, which means it takes the energy away from them. And so if there had been free oxygen, all of the precursors, the building blocks of life, would have basically begun to oxidize early on, and life wouldn't have had sources of energy to be able to evolve. So it's really important there was no free oxygen. So if you looked at the atmosphere of a planet and saw it had a lot of free oxygen, well, it turns out there are other ways to make that. So it's not proof that there's life, but it's the first indicator that there may be life. So I suspect in the next decade, in my lifetime at least, that we'll know about that there's other biologies outside of our solar system, which will be profoundly important. But the thing that people are really interested in is not microbes. It's, intelligent life. That's a much more difficult question. I suspect intelligent life is rare in the universe because we took almost 4 billion years for the kind of intelligence that can produce technologies that another civilization could learn about if they listened long enough or looked hard enough. That took 4 billion years on Earth, 3.5 billion years, or 4.5 billion years, sorry. It took 4 billion years from the time life started. It's about 500 million years after the Earth formed to now, because the Earth is 4.55 billion years old or so. And we're in a very special place in our galaxy. We're kind of a boring suburb. Most of the star systems are where it's much more dense, where we expect there'd be interferences, if large comets or other things that could destroy life on Earth would happen more often there. But the great thing about the universe is it's big and it's old, so rare events happen all the time. So I suspect there's intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. The trouble is it's a big universe. It's a big galaxy. And so I'm agnostic about whether we'll ever know about intelligence elsewhere. It's hard to learn, and it's big, it's long, and maybe if intelligent civilizations only last 10 or 20,000 years before they destroy themselves, there's another reason why we won't learn about them. So there's lots of, it'd be a great discovery, but I'm not counting on it.
And then if we are actually the creators of AI, and then that continues to evolve.
Well, yeah, the intelligence we may discover on other systems may be AI, what you would call AI. You might say it's silicon-based instead of carbon-based. Right. Again, I don't like the name AI so much, but it could be that, as I suspect may happen on Earth, that the dominant intelligence may not be biological, and that may be what we detect. Yeah, who knows?
Are there infinite number of galaxies?
Well, the answer is, guess what? We don't know.
Okay.
In our observable universe, we can say that now there are several hundred billion galaxies. But that's in our observable universe. But we're pretty darn certain that our observable universe isn't everything there is. Moreover, actually, we're pretty confident, the most likely possibility is that our universe isn't even the only universe, that there may be an infinite number of universes. So, and there are reasons to believe that, which I go on to in describing the book. And it's amazing, it's true. We kind of call it the multiverse, and it's not something we created because we like the idea, any more than we created quantum mechanics because we like the idea. We're dragged kicking and screaming because they're realities that are very difficult to picture and uncomfortable to picture, but they happen to be true. At least quantum mechanics does. And so, people who are religious say, we'll invent the multiverse to replace God, and we didn't. We were driven to this idea that there may be many universes. But that changes a lot of our discussion. If our universe is an accident, if the laws of physics of our universe is an accident, it changes everything. I became a physicist because I wanted to understand why the universe had to be the way it is, right? But maybe that's a bad question, because maybe the laws of physics are an accident, and you could imagine other universes with different laws of physics that work well. And maybe life like we see wouldn't exist, but who knows whether wouldn't be other kinds of life that could exist in that universe. It raised a whole bunch of different questions. But again, in fact, someone the other day said, well, aren't there trillions of galaxies? They wrote to me, because it turns out if you look back in time, there may have been trillions of galaxies, but many galaxies merge. So now today there are probably hundreds of billions of them. People wonder why people say trillions and now hundreds of billions, because our Milky Way galaxy is in its present form because it cannibalized other galaxies. Other small galaxies came and merged together, and we see the large and small Magellanic Clouds, which are small galaxies you can see in the southern hemisphere. They're basically going to merge with the Milky Way galaxy. They're orbiting around and will become. And then Andromeda, which is this beautiful galaxy that looks like our own, that's 2 million light years away. When we look at it, it's fine, but it's actually heading towards us, and maybe at 100 kilometers per second. So in about 5 billion years, it'll collide with our Milky Way galaxy. What'll happen? Not much. You won't even notice it in the night sky. First, you'll see it get big, but the night sky won't look that different because most of the galaxies are empty space. What it'll mean is in our far future, our galaxy won't be a nice spiral galaxy anymore. After that collision, it'll mix up. It'll become a spherical galaxy. Big deal. But it is heading straight towards us on a collision course. So
Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up.
If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?